Hola estudiantes, soy Mrs. Rojas, bienvenidos para hoy, martes. Hoy es el día 2. So good morning boys and girls, please welcome to our Tuesday lesson. Today is day 2. So we are going to be covering our binder lessons today, okay? So you should have your binder ready, okay? So parents, you can go to page 13 in your binder. Remember, you do have tabs, but don't look at the tabs yet. You're gonna look in the first few pages, which is page 13, okay? So on page 13, we're going to look on day 2, which is right here, and I marked it. Yes, for yesterday's video lesson, I had already sent you day 1, so we're not gonna cover day 1 today during Zoom, but I did send you the video. You can follow that. And we're gonna do day 2 today for Tuesday. Tomorrow's will be day 3 for Wednesday, okay? And then day 4 is on the back, page 14. That's Thursday, and then day 5, that's Friday, okay? Friday, it's you following what's here. Okay, I don't make a video for the Friday, but you can follow it, or you can just move on to the next one for next week, okay? So day 4, we'll stop there. So we're gonna do our day 2. We're gonna go to the first one that says phonics. We're gonna go to do the mystery game on page 46. So this time, parents, go ahead and go to your tab that says reading, and you're going to look for page 46, okay? So on your reading tab, should say reading tab, you're going to find page 46, and it's right in the back. We're going to do mystery game right here. Okay, so you can follow exactly what it says there for you to do. You don't have to. You can make it your own way, okay? So for the mystery game, it says play a mystery game in which you are calling your child's name or looking for an object around the house. For example, say, I'm thinking of someone whose name begins with, and then say the letter sound. So if let's say you have 2 kids or 3 kids, what you can do is play with them and say, I'm looking for a child that starts with the letter and let's say one of your child's name is Marcos or Maria. Then they're gonna say me, right? We're not gonna do that one just because, of course, I don't have any students here to play that game with, but we are going to play the following that says or. I'm looking for an item that begins with the, and then say the sound. So we're gonna be looking for items around the house that have that name, okay? So for example, if I say, I'm looking for an item around the house that starts with the letter P, P, P. So your child's gonna go around looking for anything that they can find and carry carefully, right? Let's stay away from glass. That starts with the letter P. So I have one item here, pen. A pen starts with the letter P, P. Okay, I'm looking for an object around the house that starts with the letter K, K, K. So go around looking for something with the letter K, K. Bring it back to your parents. And I found something with the letter K, K. Cup. Starts with the letter K. Good job. You can continue playing this game with other letter sounds and have fun with it, okay? This is kind of like a scavenger hunt, okay? So that's going to be it for our phonological awareness, okay? Now go back to page 13, parents. That's the first few pages. You're going to look for the same lesson that we're doing because that's what you're following. Now you're going to do page 49, which is your phonics activity. So go back to your tab, your reading tabs. Remember I told you about your reading tab, your math tab, and science tab. So here is your reading tab right here. So go and look for page 49, okay? We're doing phonics. So here is page 49, and we're doing phonics. Okay, so the game for today is blend words, okay? It says gather several small objects from around the house. Say, let's see if you can guess what I am hiding behind my back, okay? So I do have a few items. You are going to blend the word. I'm going to give you part, which is syllables, right? So it says, pronounce the first sound and ending rhyme separately. So for example, in the first game we found pen, right? I would say p, n, and then you would put the word together. What does it say? Pen. And then we'll check my back to see my hand to see if that's the object. Okay, so gather maybe like 3 or 4 items. Parents, you can hide them behind your back or put them in a bag so that they won't see. Okay, and then do the word, do the sounds, okay, for syllables. So for example, I have in my hand something that says b, r, a, let. What do I have? Bracelet, bracelet. Okay, another item. Okay, I have another item. Pencil. What do I have behind my back? Good, pencil. Okay. Let's say another item. Apple. Apple. Put those words together, blend them. What do I have? Apple. Good job. Let's see. I have this item behind my back. Battery. Battery. Or battery. What do you say? It's a little hard, right? Battery, a battery. Good. You parents can continue with a few other items if you would like for fun. So just remember, separate the word and they have to put the word back together. That is what we call blending our words. Blend words. Those are awesome ways to practice also with reading and breaking down the words to help with reading. Okay? All right. Parents, go ahead and go back to page 13. Okay, on page 13 for reading, we're going to move on to our reading and writing lesson. So we're going to be using the book. It says you can choose any book, but we're going to continue with What Vibrates. We're going to only look at page 53. Well, we're going to actually, 53 and on. What I'm going to actually have you do, boys and girls, is pick one page, any page that you would like from that little story, What Vibrates, that we read yesterday. And I want you to explain what is happening in the picture. So don't read the words right now. What I want you to do is look at the picture on whatever page you would like on that book, What Vibrates, and I want you to tell me what is happening in that picture. Just describe, explaining your own words, okay? And then, boys and girls, when you're done, you're going to actually draw the picture that you explain, and you're going to write about what is happening in that picture. So exactly what you're going to describe out loud to your parents, you're going to write it and draw it. And you boys and girls have your journal. This is a journal that I was talking about in the video, and we're going to write in our journal today, okay? Except I'm going to write on the board so you could see it better, but you will write right here in your journal, okay? All right, so go to the story, and the story, parents, it's in your reading tab. So go to your reading tab, okay, and go and look for the story, What Vibrates. And that's on page 53 on, okay? So I'm going to just pick any page from here, and I'm going to pick page 7, okay? So I'm gonna pick page 7 right here, page 7. And I'm looking at this picture. So if I were to describe that picture out loud, I would say, I see 3 kids with their mouths open. Looks like they're being silly. Looks like they're yelling, right? Or maybe taking a silly picture, right? So you're just describing what you see. If you were to choose another page, like 10, oh, let me see. I see kids, right? Young kids. I see them hitting the drum. It's a big drum, right? And they're outside because I could see trees and buildings, right? So I kind of added to my sentence. So I'm going to go with this one. The kids are where? They're outside. So the kids outside are, and what are they doing? They are yelling or laughing, okay? So now what I described, I'm going to write it in my journal. So take your primary journal, open it. You haven't written in it yet, so you'll go to your first pages. So I would write what I just described. The, nice and neat on the lines. 3, and I'm gonna write the number. Kids are yelling, and I'm gonna add where they're at. They're yelling where? Outside. Okay? And I would just write that in my journal. The 3 kids are yelling outside. I'm gonna write it big here for you so you could see. And you're writing it in your journal. And don't forget your punctuation mark. Okay? All right. Parents, this ends our reading lesson. Boys and girls, this ends our reading lesson. If you are not done, what you can do is pause the video now, and you can finish writing your sentence in your journal. Okay? And I will be back, and I will be doing your math lesson. Okay? So I will pause my video, you pause your video, and we'll continue with math. Okay, welcome back, boys and girls and parents. We're going to move on to our math lesson for today. Okay, so we are doing math. Today is Tuesday, and we are on day 2 for our lessons. Okay, so parents, what you can do for your math lessons, remember you will find those on page 29. Okay. That is those pages for your lessons by week, okay? So let's not forget that. So what I want you to do, parents, is go to the beginning of your binder. I want you to look for page 29. And your page 29 looks exactly like this, okay? Page 29. So we're looking on day 2. We're working on our next mission, okay? And we're going to be working with median place value, which is kind of like what we did yesterday with our numbers, with grouping our numbers by 10, right? To help us add, okay? And we also got the lesson on subtracting as an example. So for today's lesson, it says that you need to go to page 178. That is where we are going to be looking at for our lesson to open it up. And then the kids today are going to be working on page 192. This is for the student, okay? This page is for the parent to show us an example, okay? So let's go to our math tab. Remember what parents, we tabbed them for you. So your math is tabbed. This is what you're looking for, math. Let's go to page 178. Go ahead and turn. Here's 178, and we're looking at lesson 2. We're going to cover this. It already has the answer for you. You just need to read it and show the student, okay? So it says Lisa was reading a book, okay? So it says she read 6 pages the first night. So right away, parents, when you see numbers, that's the first thing we want to draw is 6, okay? And this is Lisa, okay? And let me kind of move this away. So she says that the first night she read 6 pages. So I'm going to put night 1. That's the first night. She read 6 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Then it says 5 pages the next night. So this one's night 2. She read 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Parents, boys and girls, drawing, it's always a great way to help you solve. 4 pages the following night. Night 3, she read 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? So now it says, how many pages did she read? Make a drawing, which is what we just did, about your thinking, which is what we did. We're thinking out loud. And then write a statement to go with your work, which means we're going to write a number sentence, okay? But remember, boys and girls, what can we do first? Just like we did Monday lesson, we can group these numbers to put a 10 together. So let's figure that out first. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's too much. We want to make a 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group 1 and 3. I'm going to leave out night 2 because I was with too many. So this makes what? This makes a 10. So right away, I already have a 10. So you can either use a 10 plus, what do you have here that you didn't circle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then you come up with your total, right? But we can also break it down by putting each number. There's 2 different ways. So here we have 6 plus 5 plus 4. And then we come up with the total, right? Okay, so what would be your total of all of the pages she read at night? We have 10 plus 5 more, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is what she read, and this comes up to the same thing, all right? So this is your example, so go ahead now. We already did this page. Now we're gonna go to our page 192. So go to page 192, still in the same section. So now you should be seeing page 192 along with page 193. So we're going to be doing 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we have 9 problems to do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 1, 2, and 3 with you. And you are going to do page 193 on your own for practice, okay? All right, and that's what I'm gonna want a picture of for your assignment, okay? So I'm gonna turn this page over. And I'm going to attach this one right here just so you can see it, okay? So now it says circle the numbers and make a 10. So here we have 7, 3, and 4, right? So what they're doing is just what we did. What you can do, boys and girls, is you can actually draw. So when you're drawing, you can actually draw little dots to make 7, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Draw 3 dots. 1, 2, 3. Then draw 4 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. This helps you picture it, right? A drawing always works for math. So now what they did was, just like we did in the example, we're gonna come up with a 10. So they put 7 and 3 together to make a 10. What was left over? A 4, okay? Now over here, they're showing you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is the dots, and 3, which is what we did, and then they use a different drawing, which are the X's for 4. It's the same thing, we just did it over here ourselves, right? So 10 plus 4, which wasn't in our, all together is 14. Good. Okay, let's go to the next one. 9. We're gonna make our drawing over here. So 9. I'm gonna just do dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then I'm gonna do 1, and then I'm gonna do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, I wanna make how many? 10. So which numbers can I combine to make 10 right away? 9, and you have one more. What does that make? 10. What do you have left over here? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're gonna count them all together. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Over here, guys, all you're doing is bringing these numbers down. 9, 1, and 4. You don't solve it here, you solve it over here when you draw. Okay, now let's do number 3. Go ahead and do 5 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now 2 numbers that make the whole 10. I want to say doubles, 5 and 5. So we're going to circle this along with my 5, because that would be too many. That would make 11. So now, what number do I have left that I did not circle? 6. I count all my dots together. What do you get? 16. All you do here is bring down your numbers. Which 2 numbers did we circle over here? 5 and 5. What do we have left over here? 6. Okay? And that is it for that. You boys and girls, parents, go ahead and have your child work on page 193 on their own, independent. They're going to do 4, 5, 6. 4 and 5 are the same way that we just solved. 6, 7, 8, and 9. Here, even though you don't have the space for drawing, can you still draw? Yes, of course. Go ahead and do your dots and count. Put your totals. Thank you. That is it for our math lesson. Go ahead and pause. I will continue on with our science, but you can go ahead and pause. I'm going to go ahead and pause for a little bit, and I'll be right back with you. Thank you. Hi, welcome back, parents. We are going to go ahead and start on our science lesson. Okay, so parents, for my science lesson, go ahead and go to page 37. This is for your actual lesson, parents, that you can follow. We are doing day 2 because today is Tuesday, okay? So day 2 for our science lesson. So go to page 37. Remember, you're looking in the first pages. That's where all your lessons are. So you should be seeing this page right here, 37. We're going to do day 2. Make observations. Now it says for you today to read making observations, which is on page 291. So you're going to go to page 291 in the tab for science, okay? And then it says, caregivers ask the students to look outside. You can look through the window or actually go outside if it's a nice day. Observe what they see, what they hear. So they're going to observe what they see, right? They're going to observe what they hear, right? Their ear. So see, hear. And then they're going to observe maybe what they smell. And sorry, I'm not the best artist. And what they smell, right? Because that's a nose, okay? So they're kind of using their senses, right? Examples could be maybe looking at a plant, observing the plant, houses, any animal, pet, maybe the weather, right? Because the weather's been very different these past few days, right? So make observations, okay? That is what our topic is for today. I do have a little video that I'm going to show you on BrainPop, and I will be writing down the username and password so that way you can follow. Oh, actually, I won't be able to do that, but I will send it to you if you need it. Caregiver also asks the students to make 5 observations and draw, there's an error right there, draw a picture of what was observed outside, okay? That's what you're going to do today, is making those observations, okay? You're gonna use your 5 senses. So we have see, hear, smell. We're going to also do what? It would be your touch, and what's our next sense? Our taste. Now just be careful with the tasting. This one, we're going to obviously need to use what kind of an item? Possibly a food item, okay? So for example, here I have an apple, right? It's food, it's a fruit. Okay, so if I were to describe what I see with my apple, let me switch my marker. What I see. So what do I see with my apple? Okay, I see that it is red. Okay, and how would you describe it? Is it hard? Does it look big? Small? Maybe small. Okay, it's a small apple. Okay, what do I hear if I put it to my ear? Nothing, right? I really don't hear nothing coming from my apple. What do I smell? It smells kind of sweet. Smells a little sweet. Some might say nothing. I washed the apple, so maybe like water, okay? Maybe like a water smell or something. Touch. So I'm touching the apple. How do you think it feels with your hands? You're using your senses here. Feels kind of hard, okay? It doesn't feel squishy or anything like that, or super soft. Yeah, even the little stem is hard. Okay, it feels smooth. Like the top feels smooth. Okay, and then my last one, taste. Ooh, what do you think I have to do to that one? What do I need to do? Take a bite. Let's see, find a good spot, good spot. So it tastes crunchy, a little crunchy. It tastes sweet, so I was right with the smell. But it also tastes soft. Like once you chew it, the inner part, it already tastes a little soft. From the crunchy, it changed to something soft, right? Okay, so I'll set my apple and I'll eat that for a snack later. And let me wrap it. We'll enjoy that later. Okay, so these are your making observations, because this is what we are covering today. So making observations. You don't need to write this, but these are all your senses that you might want to jot down in your journal. So what you can do in your journal is open up your journal. You can use the same journal for the reading. You can put see, write it down. You can put hear. You can write smell. You can write touch. And you can write taste. Okay? Those are all your 5 senses, because you are doing what? You're making observations. Okay? Making observations. So that's what you can write in your journal. If you would like to pause it so you could finish writing, you can do that. Go ahead, because your assignment is going to be to use these 5 senses and tell me, or tell your parents, right? Because they're the ones that are teaching you today, helping you with that, is to make 5 observations, and I want you to draw a picture once you're done. You can draw your picture here or use a different sheet of paper of what you observed outside, but I want you to write, what are you seeing? Okay, what are you smelling? What are you hearing? Okay, if there's no taste outside, obviously you're not going to taste anything outside, right? You can just skip that one. Okay, all right. So parents, what I want you to do is go ahead and look for your science tab. Remember, we tabbed them, and this is your science tab and social studies. So go to page, we had set for you page 291. Okay. Now let me explain to you, parents, this is a lot of information, right? It's a lot of reading, but it's pretty much, we're gonna cover it on Brain Pop. So you can scan this just to give your child a little bit of more information. So what it is that you're going to observe, pay close attention. That's when you're paying close attention to something. You're actually using your 5 senses to describe things, to make observations. You can describe them by color, by size, by the shape, how they look, right? How they feel, the touch, the texture. Okay, what are you hearing? Okay, so, and we gave some great examples here. Okay, you look at it in different angles, right? You can even use science tools to be able to help you observe things that you might not see with your little bitty eyes, right? You can use a hand lens, right? A microscope. It just depends what the object is, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab my iPad and I'm going to be playing you a video for Brain Pop. And it's a video that is talking about making observations, okay?
Check it out. They're frog eggs. I'm going to observe them and watch how they grow. How do you observe? When you observe, you pay close attention to something. To observe, you can use the 5 senses. You can use your eyes to see the color, shape, and size of something, and to look closely at all of its parts. You can use your nose to smell and compare it to other smells that you know. You can use your ears to listen carefully for different sounds. You can use your hands to gently touch and feel different parts. You can use your mouth and tongue to taste. Right, you should not taste that. You should only touch or taste if a grown-up says it's okay. When you observe something, try looking at it from different spots. Things can look different, depending observe. Things might change. If you can, make observations during different times of the day. When I observe the weather in the morning, it can be really different than the weather in the afternoon. I like to take notes and write down my ideas as I observe.
So that is something you can do as well when you do your assignment.
You observe. You can record your observations by writing, drawing, taking pictures, taking video, or even recording sounds. Sometimes we describe our observations in words. The bird has black and red shiny feathers. Other times we describe our observations with numbers. The bird laid 3 eggs and 2 hatched today.
And that's just giving more details.
It's helpful to record your observations in a chart, calendar, or other graphic organizer. What tools can you use to observe?
This is something I just talked about as well.
A magnifying glass is a tool that helps you look at things up close.
Microscope.
A microscope helps you see things even more closely. A ruler or tape measure helps you measure how tall or wide something is.
So these are all scientific tools that scientists use.
How much something weighs, and a balance helps you compare different objects.
You can also compare those by weighing them in your hand.
A thermometer tells you how hot or cold something is. A clock or stopwatch can help you time how long something takes. You can also use computers to record, organize, and print out your observations. What can you learn from making observations? Observations help us understand how things work and how they change. When you observe these frog eggs, you learn how tadpoles hatch, grow legs, and slowly change into frogs. You can use observations to predict what might happen or answer questions. Sometimes when I make observations, I come up with questions. I wonder, what do tadpoles eat? How do they breathe underwater? Sometimes my questions lead me to investigate or explore to find answers. What's that for? You want to take a closer look at the tadpoles? I don't think you'll fit in a tank, Moby.
Okay, so that ended our video. Now, for today's assignment, parents, go ahead and go back to page 37, which is your lesson for today. And for your assignment, boys and girls, is using your journal, which is this one. Use your journal, and I want you to make 5 observations and draw a picture of what was observed outside. Okay, you don't have to describe with the senses. It'd be great if you do, but maybe describe one thing. So you're gonna observe 5 things. It can be a bird, it can be a tree, it can be a flower, it can be the weather. Okay, so 5 different things, and draw a picture. That's all you need to do. Just draw a picture of what you observed outside. Okay, I'm excited to see what you come out with. Okay, so this ends our lesson, our English lesson for Tuesday. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.